going live here correctly. Tech Thursday. It looks like we are. Awesome. Welcome to Tech Thursday, everybody. Hopefully everything with my audio is working properly. It looks like I'm getting some of the audio. Not getting feedback on my end, which is good. Close Chrome here. And let's start with what we're using today. I am using a different system than I normally do. This is a MacBook with an M1 chip. So I've got PowerPoint installed on this. For Tech Thursday, I've got our video set up in OBS, and I was just about to play around with some different scenes in OBS. Had to troubleshoot the permissions for allowing the computer to share its screen. And once I got that set up, it looks like we're all set. I'm only sharing the PowerPoint window, so I can't navigate away from it at this point to other things on either of my screen. The other thing that I was playing around with, and let me see if there's an easy way to show this to you. Not sure if there's going to be an easy way to show this or not. Let's take a look. Might just have to walk you through it for today. Doesn't look like there's an easy way for me to show it, but what I have set up for the first time on the Mac was the sidecar functionality in Big Sur. And what sidecar allows me to do, hey, I think I just thought of a way I can show it to you. There we go. You can see that I've got my iPad mini, and my iPad mini is a secondary display with OBS on it. So that worked out pretty well, actually. I hadn't even thought of it to this moment. Like, how am I going to show you what's on this screen over here? I could just show you this screen over here. And so what it allows me to do is, instead of leveraging a traditional secondary display, I can leverage an iPad. And I have a mini, I have a regular iPad, and then I have an iPad Pro. So depending on what kind of size I want on that secondary screen, I have 3 different choices in the iPads that I have in the home. I'm using the mini because it was the first one I grabbed. It looks like my regular and my Pro are right next to me, so I'll set those up later today and make sure they're all functioning the same, see if there's any difference in resolution with Sidecar. But what Sidecar allows you to do is just that, leverage that secondary screen within your live broadcasts. And when I'm live broadcasting, I mentioned yesterday, that's super helpful to have 2 displays available to you. So it looks like my OBS settings are up here, but I'm only sharing my PowerPoint. What I could do here, which would be pretty interesting, is I can hit Command-Shift-3 to take a screenshot, and then I should be able to do an insert, or let's do an extra slide here. We'll do an extra slide, and then we'll do an insert, pictures, picture from file, and those files end up on the desktop by default. So there is a screenshot of my full device, my secondary device, because it took 2 screenshots. So there's my sidecar. We'll make this smaller to indicate that it's the sidecar display. Put it over here, and then I'll insert the other image, which is the main screen of my Mac. And this is essentially what I'm seeing from my end, is I've got a Mac M1 display over here on the left, and then I've got an iPad mini display right next to it. And what that allows me to do is leverage both of these at the same time for presentations like this. And it's a pretty cool little setup here. The iPad still kind of functions like an iPad, but then it also has the secondary screen capability. I'm not sure what happens with the touch functionality. There are buttons on sidecar to the left that I need to experiment with. But the nice thing about this is my Mac experience now can be leveraged with Microsoft Teams, with the rest of Office 365, as well as the other devices that I have within the ecosystem of hardware that I have to play around with. The other thing I wanted to mention, and again, I'll need to think about the best way to do this. It might be best to take some pictures of different setups. I did download, I won't be able to show you this easily without taking screenshots and including them, but I did download a Touch Bar server app that used to work, and I'll have to see if it worked on the computer that I used to use it on. But what it allowed you to do is look at what a touch bar would look like in use. And the touch bar interface allows you to do a number of different things. It changes and kind of replaces that function row in Mac hardware. So if you have interest in seeing that, we'll think about maybe doing that for a additional Tech Thursday sometime. The other thing that I have not fired up yet to play around with, but I have right here, is a Hololens. And this Hololens has set up the Microsoft Mesh software. So let's see if we can change our scene here. Make it a little easier for you to at least see what I'm seeing. There we go. So this is what a HoloLens looks like. It's actually starting up. And my view will be shown soon. Then what I can do with the HoloLens is actually gesture or use voice to log in. So I can gesture out in front of me to log in with a pin pad and a pin, just like I would a phone. See if that all took. There we go. There's audio on this, so I can hear the audio in my ears and my peripheral. And then the application I just installed, all apps. Let's take a look what it was called. It's Microsoft Mesh app. So I'm going to launch that for the first time along with you. And the nice thing about the HoloLens is I can actually record what's coming off of it. So I can air tap to start recording. And I get a countdown. So we're going to go ahead and record this as well. So we'll go ahead and play the little intro video here. Play. Let's see if it's going to work here for me. There we go. So it configures itself. Needs my permission. It needs my permission for the microphone. Let's see what's going to happen here. Looks like it's just setting up. So I'll play around with this. Maybe I'll record a video for next week, and then I haven't done a live video in OBS or Restream yet. We'll bring a live demo of the Microsoft Mesh app to you next week, and I'll record this with the HoloLens. So that's it for today's Tech Thursday. We've looked at Mac OS with Sidecar. We've looked at OBS, the Open Broadcaster software that I am leveraging today on a Mac M1 chipset. And we looked at the HoloLens and getting that set up for the Microsoft Mesh announcements that were made about 3D experiences with others. So we'll take a look at all of those next week again in maybe some more detail. Thanks for joining me, everyone. And I'm going to stop our stream here shortly. The other thing I was just looking at was I don't think I've got the ability to see the streams within this version of OBS, and I haven't figured out what I did differently in this copy on Mac OS versus my PC copy version of OBS, and I haven't. So I'm going to go over and see if we have any live comments here. Looks like we're okay on YouTube. Let's head over to Twitter real quick. See if there's anything over there. I believe we're okay on Twitter as well. And then the other two platforms are Facebook. So I'm not sure if I can just use the website for Restream while I'm still using OBS to actually stream the content or not. I'll have to play around with that. Yeah, and somewhere in this software I've still got this set to Monday, March 15th, so I need to change that again in my software settings. Looks good on Facebook, and then we'll check out Twitch real quick because Twitch, it's the streaming service I've used the least. So I haven't really played around with how it works when I'm logged in and I'm streaming live. So let's take a look and see if I can check that out real quick. Okay, where's it send? It's going to send my code to devices here. 2270. There we go. I thought that took. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm logged into my Twitch account here. Let's make sure everything's working successfully. It is. Make sure everything's working successfully. Excellent. Well, thanks again for joining me this Tech Thursday. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's aka.ms/Tech Thursday. And I'll throw that on a slide here. Since I am sharing my slides, I'll make myself a little smaller. If I can grab the crosshairs on my video. Put myself down here in the corner for now. aka.ms/Tech Thursday. And that's my YouTube for Thursday. aka.ms/Tip Tuesday is the location for Tuesdays, and those are more just generic tips about social media, software, other things that I think of to share on Tuesdays. And then for the last 2 weeks, I've been going live right around 1 p.m. We were a little late today because I was troubleshooting the OBS install on my Mac and getting Sidecar set up and then figuring out how all that worked together. Once I got that hooked up, we went live on the 4 platforms that we're talking about. And Friday will be our last scheduled session. I'll be speaking about how to sign up and practice along with me if you would like to add this to your skill set and add this to what you can market to companies, either Microsoft partners, Microsoft themselves, other tech companies, many of which are using social media and live video streaming, LinkedIn being one. That's still a beta right now, so I need to remind them that I've signed up for the beta and would love to get access to live stream there as well. And it also allows you to bring that to your current employer or prospective employers that might be able to save money by bringing inside the company production of live events that they might be paying a third party a lot of money to produce or for licensing in those scenarios. So we'll talk about all that Friday, and then the following week I'll go back to Tip Tuesday and Tip Thursday items on YouTube. We'll probably continue to do those live. I'm not sure if we'll do them every Tuesday and Thursday, but I'll look at my schedule and figure out if we can continue some live broadcasting as well as pre-recorded broadcasting. I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday afternoon, and I'll talk to you on Friday. Take care, everyone.